Behind the fame and bright lights, idol life can be crushingly expensive as countless idols spend years trapped in debt to their agencies, barely earning anything for themselves. Yet, a select few start their careers with strong financial support and wealth beyond imagination, avoiding the struggles most others face. For example, ALLDAY Project is perhaps one of K-pop's most intriguing groups for this aspect alone, as their combined net worth is certainly something to be in awe of, with even their youngest member Youngso already starting to show as a huge money earner for the group. At first glance, Youngso might not be coming in with the same financial backing or long list of achievements as the rest of her group members, but for many fans, that makes her one of the most relatable members and therefore one of the most supported members. After initially being cut from ILIT's final lineup and leaving HYBE, Youngso seemed unsure of what would happen to her career as she didn't seem to have the luxury of leaning on a legacy or a long resume. However, what she had was persistence and an eye for success. It has been revealed that Youngso worked very hard to promote herself to many companies all on her own, sending videos, making pitches, and asking for a chance in order to achieve her true dream. And when she finally hit gold by joining the Black label, she actually agreed to their terms with almost no knowledge of what her career prospects would be, as she later revealed that she actually had no idea that she would be debuting in a co-ed group, unlike the other members. She certainly stands out from her fellow group members, likely entering the group with the smallest net worth and connections, as she hasn't had the years of paid gigs, choreo credits, or modeling deals that some of her members have stacked up. But despite this, she's not lagging behind as she's becoming one of the most talked about members, earning praise for her performance skills, visuals, and authenticity. If anything, her underdog status is helping her gain attention, which is quickly coming with opportunities, both career-wise and financially. Youngso's financial ceiling is therefore rising fast, especially with the way ALLDAY Project is gaining traction, endorsements, and a diverse international fan base. Fellow member Woo Chan's situation is similar to Youngso, considering he doesn't seem to stem from a rich family either, and has in fact managed to build a stable income and fan base even before his debut, which has been a huge help for his current career. When he was just 12 years old, he made it to the Show Me the Money stage, becoming the youngest to do so, something he was highly praised for despite not making it to the finale, especially as his talents matched his ambition. His technical skill earned him credibility among seasoned rappers, and that kind of reputation matters in the Korean music world. After the show, Woo Chan greatly capitalized on that buzz, appearing in collaborations, brand campaigns, and even JTBC's short film Dad's Sword. This not only gives him connections in the industry, but it has also grown his net worth considerably by earning even more modeling gigs and endorsements. By the time he started to release his first solo music, he already had a fan base and industry connections that most rookies could only dream of. His admission into Hongik University's highly selective music department was also a sign of how deeply invested he is in his artistry and how far his skills can take him both critically and commercially. In short, Woo Chan seems to have built a personal brand that had flourished well before ALLDAY Project was ever in the works. There's no doubt that Woo Chan has already earned a substantial amount of money as a soloist, and his luxurious taste and polished image reflect that. However, now that he is in ALLDAY Project, that value has only continued to increase with the group's unique concept and rising popularity, as Woo Chan's pre-existing influence is definitely contributing to carrying ALLDAY's image. Similarly, the group's main dancer, Bailey, isn't just a dancer or another trainee, as she also seems to stem from a quite favorable background, with her mother even being in the running for Miss Korea 1987. Before joining the K-pop world, Bailey was known as a global choreographer with credits that could rival professionals twice her age. The scale of her pre-idol career is quite impressive, as she has been choreographing for major K-pop acts like Red Velvet, Taemin, aespa, and EXO's Kai, putting her on a short list of dancers trusted with million-dollar stages. And these aren't just lucky strikes either, as she seemingly has long-term connections in the industry. Combine that with her performances alongside artists like Janet Jackson and Jason Derulo, and you're looking at someone who's been working internationally for years, collecting checks from both the Korean and American entertainment industries, despite her actually only living in the US. In fact, Bailey has only recently made the move to Korea in order to debut. According to her, she actually knew nothing about K-pop before receiving a call to choreograph for a girl group, and has slowly learned about the industry through her job as a choreographer. But while she hasn't always dreamed of being an idol, it is these experiences that have made her idol career now look so lucrative. It's not hard to see why people believe she comes from a family that had the resources to help her succeed early on, either as being a part of some of LA's most popular dance circles as a child, training with top-tier choreographers, and gaining access to elite networks is something that takes both talent and connections. And now her influence is turning into even more financial opportunity, with brand deals by companies like Spotify, Nike, Samsung, and Roblox, as well as her many choreography checks. She started acquiring her wealth well before before her idol career and is now only further building upon her royalties. Content from the group even shows her lounging in luxury cars, indicative of just how well off she might be. And as fans have seen, she is actually very generous with her earnings, especially to those closest to her, as it was just recently revealed that both she and her fellow member Tarzan have gifted Woo-chan luxury goods for his birthday from brands like Louis Vuitton. Tarzan has also emerged as one of ALLDAY's most compelling members, not just because of his performance skills, but because of the strong foundation he seems to have entered the industry with. Though less publicly linked than his co-member Annie, Tarzan's journey is just as indicative of significant wealth and backing. Before joining ALLDAY, Tarzan had already built a name for himself in the performing arts world. He attended Busan Arts High School and currently studies contemporary dance at Korea National University of Arts, a school known for being highly selective and costly. His accolades include gold medals from the Tanzolymp Asia Grand Prix and the Dong-A International Contemporary Dance Competitions, both prestigious competitions that require extensive preparation, international travel, and often private coaching, something that is rarely possible without financial resources and family support. Beyond dance, Tarzan made his way into fashion before even debuting as an idol. He appeared at Seoul Fashion Week in 2022 and featured in various editorials, gaining major visibility. It's another area of his career that hints at some alleged financial privilege and support systems that stretch beyond the average idols. Even just his pre-debut closet speaks to his wealth, as he casually showed off luxurious pieces worth thousands of dollars in their debut music video. Now, as a member of ALLDAY, Tarzan isn't just dancing or modeling, as he's even expanded his skills to contribute to the group's music, showing just how much trust the company is putting in him. He's credited as a lyricist on the group's debut track Wicked, and this early involvement means he's likely earning royalties, which seems to open yet another profitable path for him through songwriting. Despite facing major backlash over cultural appropriation controversies, including his styling choices linked to Black culture, Tarzan's career momentum hasn't slowed down. Many netizens have even called for his departure from the group. Many netizens even feel like his presence in the group might reflect badly on the group's other members, as one netizen commented, "By association, all the members are also now guilty. How someone like Bailey can be in a group with this man is beyond me." But unfortunately, it seems like many of these critiques are falling on deaf ears, and it's very likely that Tarzan might not be going anywhere, considering the amount of commercial success he is contributing to, not just for the group, but also the company. And of course, perhaps the group's most prominent member, Annie Moon, born Moon So-yoon, has quickly become one of the most high-profile names in K-pop this year. And that's not only because of her idol debut, but because of the rare economic and social status she brings into the industry. Annie is a fourth-generation chaebol, a title reserved for those born into South Korea's most powerful business-owning families. In fact, it is said that her great-grandfather played a role in the founding of Samsung, which is currently worth around $318 billion US, and her mother, Chung Yu-kyung, is the president of Shinsegae, South Korea's largest luxury department store chain. Even her father, Moon Sung-wook, has served as South Korea's Minister of Trade, Industry, and Energy, tying Annie's lineage to both corporate and governmental power, something which has perhaps made her one of K-pop's wealthiest idols. According to speculations, Annie's mom could inherit up to $10 billion from her grandfather alone, which, combined with her own business and her husband's, could make Annie richer than some royalty and certainly all other idols. Everything considered, her background has sparked constant speculation about the scale of her personal wealth, as many fans and commentators believe that Annie may have the highest net worth of any active K-pop idol, even before beginning her career. However, despite the intense public curiosity, Annie avoids direct discussion of her privilege, going as far as to speak around any and all questions regarding her actual wealth. Just recently, on a July episode of P-Chic University, she dodged questions about her Lunar New Year allowance by joking that she didn't spend the holiday in Korea with her family. And when asked if she received her allowance in Korean won, US dollars, or department store gift cards, she laughed and simply said, "Just living expenses in dollars," without giving any further information on what those expenses actually sound like. With these offhand responses, it's no wonder that fans have only become more curious about her actual net worth. However, Annie's path to debut also speaks to how money hasn't actually had that much of an influence on why she's been able to become an idol, as she has been very candid about the fact that her family strongly opposed it. In interviews and pre-debut content, she explained that the only way she was allowed to pursue a music career was by first getting into Columbia University, a condition that she says took her nearly 10 years to meet. When she finally managed to get into the Ivy League school, she laughed about how her parents then had no choice but to let her follow her dreams, saying they'd already made the deal. One takeaway from Annie's exceptional story is also the extremely expensive school that she was able to attend with no issues, which not only speaks to how educated she actually is, but also to her family's wealth. And even though her entrance into K-pop was anything but ordinary, it was far from easy, which also shows that it's not necessarily about the money. In fact, her first debut prospect was originally looking to be in the Black label's Meow, but just days before the official lineup was revealed, she was actually removed from the group. Almost a year later, Annie was confirmed to be part of a completely different project, ALLDAY Project, a co-ed group that seemed to form out of nowhere. The timing led many to speculate that her family intervened, either requesting or funding a new group to ensure she would debut under terms more favorable to her, something that possibly wouldn't have happened had she not been so well connected. However, even with this level of wealth, Annie has managed to connect with fans by showing surprising humility and down-to-earth tendencies. In one viral fan interaction, when asked if she shops on ALLDAY, a platform popular for affordable fashion, she casually said yes. This small moment actually struck fans as very sincere, and many saw it as a sign that despite her immense wealth, she still engages with everyday experiences like so many other idols. But despite how down-to-earth she may appear, many netizens still stand by the fact that the group might not even have existed if it weren't for Annie's influence and her wish to become a successful idol. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on K-pop news and stories, and make sure to comment your thoughts on the group below. And if you thought that was impressive, wait until you see just how wild the lives of K-pop's richest young idols really are. What's so interesting about the K-pop industry is that its idols come from very different backgrounds. Some had normal lives before they became idols, others had more modest backgrounds, while the others were so rich that the idol life didn't make much of a difference in the way that they live. Well, except for making them richer. Wonyoung from IVE, Rise's Anton, ITZY's members, and much more showcased a life of luxury that can seem unreal even before they debuted. To start with Wonyoung, it was pretty clear she came from a well-off family. You could see it in her education, the extracurricular activities she was involved in, and the expensive outfits she wore when she was a mere trainee. This might have something to do with the fact that her family is rumored to be pretty rich. There are rumors suggesting that Wonyoung's grandfather had a significant role as the general secretary of the Association of Overseas Chinese in Korea and also managed a Chinese restaurant. These rumors weren't confirmed, but they may explain the money and focus that was put into her education ever since she was a child. Wonyoung once mentioned attending an English-speaking kindergarten, which is considered pretty exclusive in Korea, as this is typically associated with rich families since it's quite a competitive process to get into such kindergartens. When she was 6 years old, she proved herself to be quite the talented kid, attending academies for flute, piano, violin, and swimming. Furthermore, netizens were even more surprised to find out that Wonyoung had never used public transportation like buses or subways before. Just how rich do you have to be to have never used public transport? Not only that, but it seems like Wonyoung's upbringing has led to quite an impressive circle of friends and an expensive taste in food and clothes. Prior to debuting, it was said that Wonyoung had a close bond with Lee Do-young, who happens to be the granddaughter of the chairman of Daelim Group, one of Korea's top corporations. Shortly after IZ*ONE debuted, she was often spotted sporting various high-end designer clothing and accessories from brands like Gucci, Saint Laurent, and Prada, which means that she wasn't paying for them with idol money. Her favorite restaurant is also very luxurious and expensive, as a meal there costs about $260 per person. Rise's Anton was raised in a similar environment, but unlike Wonyoung, we know a lot about his family, and most of these aren't rumors, but stories that his parents or even Anton himself have shared. Anton is considered kind of a nepo baby in the industry, as he's the son of renowned singer and producer Yoon Sung, who produced a lot of hit songs for tons of artists, and former actress Shim Hae-jin. Because of his already famous parents, the spotlight fell on Anton from early on, but thankfully the public saw that there was a lot more to him than his background. When he was only 15, Anton made an appearance on Single Wife 2 along with his parents, where it was revealed that he was an active professional youth swimmer in New Jersey, USA, something that he had done since he was 5 years old. Anton attended school overseas, which means that he was rich enough to afford it, and was even considered a prodigy back there. Due to his father's skills, and of course the money that was being poured into his education, he started dipping his toes into music production, and was even an excellent cello player. In addition to good genes, wealth, and talent, Anton had one hell of a friend circle, even as a teenager. teenager. When stalking Antone's pre-debut account before he deleted it, netizens noticed that he and IU used to meet up a lot thanks to his father. Antone's father composed IU's song Only I Didn't Know, and the two were generally pretty close, with IU even calling him dad at times. It would only make sense that IU would also be close to the rest of the family, with Antone's post from his old Instagram account showing just that. In fact, in one post, he had attached a screenshot of a Louis Vuitton pair of sneakers writing, "I walked up to the apex of Namsan just to eat hamburger. IU Nuna, thanks for the shoes." IU replied to the post writing, "What's up with that screenshot?" Antone also shared a stunning view from the peak of Namsan, so it's quite possible that IU treated him to a meal at a restaurant located atop of the hill. This is quite remarkable on its own because dining at the top of Namsan tends to be quite expensive, and the shoes have been very pricey too. aespa's Giselle also seems to come up pretty often when the rich kids of K-pop are mentioned. Giselle grew up in the fancy Garasu-gil area in Seoul. She went to Sacred Heart International School in Tokyo, which costs about $6,402 a year. Not long after that, Giselle was seen sporting very fancy clothes and jewelries like the rings from Chrome Hearts. Just to give you an idea of the prices, 3 of the rings worn by Giselle are valued at nearly $10,000, $1,500, and $3,000 respectively. As for her connections, well, it's tricky to say the least, as nothing has been confirmed so far. It is said that Giselle's aunt is Cho Joo-hee, the director of the Seoul branch of ABC News in the US, who's rumored to be Lee Soo-man's girlfriend. However, Giselle herself had to shut down these rumors. In an episode of Knowing Bros, when the speculations that she was rich came up, she answered that there was a little truth to them. While she didn't consider the rumors bad, she still said that the claims that her family was rich and owned golf courses were all false. Another idol we should mention is ITZY's Leah. Before attending SOPA, Leah went to the North London Collegiate School Jeju, where all classes are held in English. This school offers a wide range of over 100 club activities, from orchestra to scuba diving and even horseback riding. If you're still not convinced about how upscale this school is, consider this. The yearly tuition is approximately $34,000, and with accommodation expenses, attending costs a student over $50,000. It's known that children of numerous celebrities and successful business figures enrolled here. Leah also once got attention when she was seen carrying a $1,700 bag at just 19, prompting TMI News to suggest that she came from a well-off background. With her career as an idol, her wealth has likely increased, and it's expected to keep growing in the future. Let's move on to Lauren. Ever since seeing him for the first time, netizens suspected that Lauren was even at least a bit rich. But little did they know that he's crazy rich. He was pretty young, and still, it seemed like YG was desperate to push him to the public. He had a producer credit in G-Dragon's hit song Bull, earned credit as a co-lyricist for 3 out of the 8 tracks in BLACKPINK's The Album, and even a cameo appearance in the music video for Lovesick Girl, so people thought that he must be someone pretty important, like the son of a YG Entertainment executive or something similar. In fact, he turned out to be the son of Lee Hae-jin, who just happens to be Naver's founder and global investment officer. You can just imagine how rich his family was and just how lavish his lifestyle had been before becoming an artist. When Lauren was in the 5th grade, he moved from Korea to Singapore and attended the Singapore American School, where the tuition reaches $60,000 without calculating the additional costs. Following high school graduation in 2013, he headed to Japan with aspirations to become an EDM producer. After joining the Black label, he found numerous opportunities in the realm of DJing and producing. Guess it pays to have a rich father who can not only fund your hobbies, but also open doors to incredible opportunities. In addition to that, he also got his own independent record label, Fire Exit Records, and manages a distribution company, AWOL. He also appeared on the cover of Dazed Korea along with Rosé, was spotted at the Paris Fashion Week back in 2022, and became the first male Korean solo artist to be a model for St. Laurent's 2022 eyewear campaign. He then signed with 88 Rising and was even a part of Coachella's 2023 lineup, not to mention his appearance on Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia annual list in 2023. Now, we're not implying that Lauren isn't talented or skilled. We've been witness of what he can do as an artist, producer, DJ, and even model. But to get your own label, DJ at important events, model for luxurious brands, and make an appearance at Coachella as someone who's relatively unknown in the industry, it's possible that there was money put into boosting his career. Again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but his experiences as an artist who's the son of Naver's founder aren't as relatable for the other artists. An unexpected entry in this video is trot singer Jung Dong-won, who you might not have heard of, so let us tell you more about who he is. Jung Dong-won began his career as a trot singer in 2019 when he was just 12 years old. old. There's not much known about his family or background, except that he attended Soonhwa Arts Middle School, which is a private school with some impressive alumni like actresses Moon Tae-won and Park Han-byul. But even though we don't know anything about his upbringing, we can guess that he's pretty rich just by judging his purchases. It was reported on November 17th that despite only being 16, Dongwon has purchased an apartment which is worth about $1.55 million. Sources familiar with the industry disclosed that last summer, Dongwon purchased a property in the Messinopolis complex situated in Seoul's Hakdong area. This complex includes high-rise apartments and is surrounded by an outdoor mall, a sizable grocery store, and other amenities. To think that he purchased such an expensive apartment at his young age, only 4 years since his debut, is insane. But when it comes to luxury and fame at a young age, few idols stand out quite like Wonyoung.
Wonyoung is one of the most envied K-pop idols in the industry right now. She's young, she's gorgeous, she's tall, and rich. Like, super rich. While it's not everything there is to life, it's probably a lot on the checklist that one wouldn't complain about having. But where did all this wealth come from, and how is she spending it? Let me tell you all about Wonyoung's lavish lifestyle. Born to be a star. Wonyoung was born on August 31st, 2004 in Icheondong to a very rich family. As a child, she was quite the prodigy kid as she attended flute, piano, violin, and swimming academies, including mathematics and English tutoring. How is she so smart on top of being absolutely gorgeous and talented? She was scouted on the streets by Starship Entertainment at the age of 13 after attending her sister's middle school graduation ceremony. She had trained under Starship for 1 year and 2 months before joining Produce 48. Though Produce got tons of criticism because of Wonyoung's age and her initial evaluation being a B, she still got tons of attention from the public for her charming personality and outstanding talents. Her visuals helped in gaining her popularity too. So, to no one's surprise, on August 30th, she finished the competition in the first place with 338,366 votes, debuting as a center of the project group IZ*ONE. IZ*ONE debuted on October 29th, 2018 with Lavi and Rose, and they received immediate success. Throughout the group's active years, they released 2 full albums and 7 mini-albums. Despite initial talks of a possible contract extension, they officially disbanded on April 29th, 2021, and Wonyoung returned to be a trainee under Starship Entertainment, along with Eugene, and Starship knows very well that talented, all-rounder idols like Wonyoung can't go to waste. Her being left in the basement of the company when she could be collecting bags for herself and Starship would not make sense whatsoever. On November 2nd, Starship announced that they would be debuting a new girl group, and both Wonyoung and Eugene would be a part of it. On December 1st, their new girl group IVE released 11, and it did well. Like, really well. 11 recorded the highest initial total numbers of album sales recorded in its first week of release, the highest among girl group debut albums, and topped multiple charts. Wonyoung was, of course, one of the most popular and beloved members of both IZ*ONE and IVE, so Starship and Wonyoung knew exactly how to capitalize on it. Chaebol daughter. Wealth is something Wonyoung had been used to her entire life, so the bag that she secured after being an idol only added to it. We all know that the family backgrounds of K-pop idols have always been a topic of interest among netizens. Besides idols who had the rags to riches stories that netizens just love, idols who were born into rich families are just as interesting. The family background of Wonyoung in particular has been a topic of discussion among fans since she's always been a very private person when it comes to her family and hasn't disclosed any information whatsoever. Naturally, this made everyone even more curious. Even without knowing anything, netizens suspected Wonyoung's family must be rich to some degree ever since IZ*ONE debuted. She was seen wearing many high-end branded clothes and bags like Gucci, Saint Laurent, Prada, not long after IZ*ONE's debut. Accordingly, Wonyoung's family is rumored to be not only well off, but also very powerful and influential in the political scene. Rumor has it that Wonyoung belongs to a chaebol family. According to some sources, her grandfather, named Jang Yong-sung, used to be the general secretary of the Association of Overseas Chinese in Korea. In addition to political activities, he also runs a Chinese restaurant. Besides, even though Wonyoung's father is said to be a music teacher, he also allegedly operates another Chinese restaurant. These are all just allegations though that Wonyoung or Starship has never confirmed nor denied, so take this with a grain of salt. Wonyoung also once shared that she went to an English-speaking kindergarten, which is a pretty big deal in Korea. In Korea, it's usually the rich kids that go to international English-speaking kindergartens. Even applying to them is hard. Netizens were also taken aback when they learned that Wonyoung is so rich that she had never used a bus or subway before. She even asked fans if there were seatbelts there. Just imagine being that that rich. Idol money. Wonyoung grew up wealthy, but being an idol has certainly added some money to her bank account. According to some sources, Wonyoung, who is still just 17 years old, has a net worth of $1.5 million, but it might actually be much more. While we don't have an exact number of what the IZ*ONE members earned during the years the group was active, we can pull out our calculators and draw an estimate based on the other produced groups and what they earned. So let's do some math, guys. We can safely assume that each IZ*ONE member would earn a maximum of $500,000 at the best case scenario, but realistically, it would be something like $300,000 to $400,000 considering the album sales, individual variety show appearances, and CFs. This is pretty surprising since their album sales were relatively high. They got lots of magazine photo shoots, the money they earned from their concerts was pretty good, along with the royalties they got from the writing credits and downloads and streaming. But we should keep in mind that albums as a whole cost a lot to produce and to distribute, so the revenue of album sales is lower than the concert tours or even endorsements. Not to mention that IZ*ONE members had to split their earnings with at least 2 companies. And we're only discussing Wonyoung today, so on top of the money she made during the time the group was active, we should also take into account her solo activities and gigs, because my girl has been booked and busy before she even debuted. As a trainee, Wonyoung was selected to model in a music video sponsored by Pepsi Korea named Love It, Live It, and then in 2021, she was chosen as a model again on a music video named Zero Attitude, which was also sponsored by Pepsi Korea. During her time as an IZ*ONE member, Wonyoung appeared as a promotional model for several important magazine covers, including Vogue Korea and Beauty Plus. She also appeared in GQ Korea magazine July 2020 issue. In addition, she represented several luxury beauty products in South Korea, such as Miu Miu, Dior, and Laura Mercier, which are crazy big brands. Wonyoung has been securing these deals ever since she debuted because she just has that it girl vibe. Wonyoung has proven she has taste, and an expensive one at that, as she has shown up to multiple events wearing outfits that cost more than $6,000 and posted photos on Instagram with outfits that cost $3,000 in total. Her outfits in general are mostly designer pieces, and it's a nice reminder that she's literally untouchable. I mean, who else except for our rich queen wears a ring that costs $900 to complete her also very expensive outfit? Oh, also, you know those cute glasses Wonyoung yeeted across the stage during her and Songhoon's cover of BTS's Butter? Yeah, those are from Miu Miu and cost $600. I swear, Crazy Rich Asians was made with her in mind. But despite this, she still received 400 million won worth of clothes as a birthday gift from her fans, as if she doesn't already have tons of money. What a generous fandom. Her expensive taste isn't only limited to clothes though. Her favorite restaurant, and the restaurant she often visits, is Born and Bred, where people usually pay $250 per person. Let that sink in for a second. Wonyoung's impact in fashion cannot be denied from her brand deals alone, and it was further recognized in September 2019 as she made her runway debut at the 29th Tokyo Girls Collection 2019 Autumn/Winter show at the Saitama Super Arena. That same year, she also walked the runway for the 29th Tokyo Girls Collection 2019 Autumn/Winter show in Kitakyushu, and she slayed both runways. If fashion brands ask her to abandon the idol life for modeling, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Besides brand deals and CFs, Wonyoung also tried writing. She helped co-write 2 songs as an IZ*ONE member. She is credited as a writer for Dreamlike and With One, so she probably got her fair share of money from that, or at least I hope she did. In February 2021, Wonyoung was the model and cover girl for Miu Miu Pre-Spring 2021 collection on Elle Korea's February 2021 issue. The money didn't stop flowing even after the end of IZ*ONE. Following the group's disbandment, Wonyoung appeared in several fashion films, including Xiaomei's Josephine collection and Miu Miu's Maritime. The dresses she wore in the photo shoot cost like $3,000, so good for her. She's also very loyal to the brand, as she has been seen wearing Miu Miu pieces several times on Instagram. If a top brand like Miu Miu wasn't enough for her, in July 2021, it was announced that Wonyoung was a new muse and global ambassador of the South Korean cosmetic brand Innisfree, replacing SNSD Yuna. To top it all off, in October of 2021, Wonyoung was announced as the new muse of Kirsch, representing the brand's 2021 collection. IVE are also doing very well sales-wise for a group with only 2 songs under their belt, and the fact that Wonyoung was given designer dresses and pieces for showcases and red carpets, we can safely assume that Starship is treating her as royalty. This has been used to attack the company and Wonyoung herself for favoritism, and Wonyoung got some heavy backlash for her outstanding outfits. As for her social media, Wonyoung's Instagram account that she only opened in 2021 adds to her stack of money quite a lot too. According to Lick.co, you need a minimum of 5,000 Instagram followers and and 308 sponsored posts a year to generate $100,000, and as of today, Wonyoung has 2.6 million followers on her personal Instagram account. An influencer with over 1 million followers can reportedly make more than $250,000 per post from brands, and Wonyoung has a lot of those. She posts a lot of official content from her photo shoots, magazine covers, and is seen wearing pieces from brands she endorses in almost every post, so you do the math. As for her non-fashion, non-branded related activities, Wonyoung was announced as the new host for Music Bank with Sunghoon of ENHYPEN, replacing Adin and Subin from October 8th onwards. The estimated salary for MCs on Music Bank is said to be $200 for every appearance. Am I the only one who thought MCs would make much more? She was also chosen as a host for 2021 Asia Artist Award on December 2nd, along with Super Junior's Itook, so she's making money left and right in one way or another. These activities help shape Wonyoung's net worth into what it is today, but despite how rich she is or how much her clothes cost, what makes fans adore Wonyoung is still her pretty visuals, sweet personality, outstanding talent, and hard work.
Of course, Wonyoung isn't the only one living large. When it comes to next level wealth, BLACKPINK is always part of the conversation. There's always been a certain degree of curiosity about how much money each K-pop star earns. The wage of K-pop group members is hard to guess, as some of them end up paying it off for years to come, even when their fans think that they're already making money. While there is a veil of secrecy about how much they make from just performing, it's a whole different thing when it comes to brand collaborations or even becoming a face of a brand. And BLACKPINK did it all, considering that they're the biggest girl group in the industry. In their almost 7 years in the spotlight, they performed at the top famous festivals in the world and also became ambassadors of the most luxurious brands in the world. Jennie is known to be connected to one of the world's biggest fashion brands, Chanel. She loves the brand and has been dedicated to wearing it for years, nearly every single day, to the point where her fans nicknamed her Human Chanel. And her love for the brand didn't go unnoticed by the media or the brand, as she became an ambassador and started attending shows of the brand back in 2017. When her partnership with the brand was announced, the Chanel spokesperson said, "Chanel aims for modernity. Young and trendy millennials are our target customers. We are very interested in stylish K-pop stars." Jennie's loyalty to the brand, as well as her trendy style, marches well with Chanel's image. In 2021, she also became the star of Chanel's jewelry line called Coco Crush and has been shining in their campaigns every year since then. To secure a collab with her isn't really a cheap feat. A brand that Jennie endorsed called aespa Korea said that Jennie's deals reportedly cost from $500,000 to $800,000. However, her promoting the brand and having a photo shoot with them helped the brand sales grow by over 19% after Jennie's influence. Her selling power and influence were also noted when she collaborated with the brand Hera Beauty in 2019 and the collection of red lipsticks modeled by her, now nicknamed Jennie's Lipsticks, and they sold 5 times more than other lip products from the brand. On top of that, the star also made a collab with the brand Gentle Monster called Gentle Home, where Jennie got to create her own line of sunglasses. But it's bigger than just brands, as Jennie was the first member of BLACKPINK to dabble in a solo project. On the 12th of November 2018, the star had her solo debut with the song Solo, which instantly became a hit. It charted and sold amazingly, so the money and attention were also focused on Jennie, not on BLACKPINK, and established herself as a soloist. All this combined, Jennie's net worth is supposed to be around $10 million. When Solo came out in 2018, Jennie broke many streaming records, but no one was prepared for the storm that would come a few years later when her bandmate Lisa debuted with Lalisa. She broke the Guinness World Record for the most viewed music video by a soloist in 24 hours, a record which was previously held by Taylor Swift in her music video Me in 2019. And debuting with the song Money alongside Lalisa was accurate because Lisa does have it, with her estimated net worth up to $14 million. Aside from the music industry breaking solo debut, Lisa is also the face of many brands. Her probably most prominent ambassadorship is with the French brand Celine, which was announced in 2020. She attended Celine's fashion show in Paris in 2022, along with BTS's V and Park Bo-gum, which basically broke the internet. In 2020, the star also became the ambassador for Bulgari. Lisa is known for her impeccable style that combines streetwear and classy, timeless pieces. She also dabbled in beauty, as in 2020, she dropped her collaboration with MAC Cosmetics and became their global brand ambassador, making her the first K-pop idol to be the face of the brand. Her latest secured deal was Asia brand ambassador of the Chivas Regal whiskey. She is also the most followed member on Instagram with 86.9 million followers. With that number of followers, she is reportedly earning more than $200,000
likes for every sponsored post on her account. Aside from being a fashionista and an amazing rapper, she is known for her show-stopping dancing skills. Combining all of her skills, she got to appear as a guest judge on the Chinese version of Produce 101 called Youth with You and Real Man 300. There were reports of Lisa's TV appearances ranging from $150,000 to $300,000. However, it's a completely different story when it comes to brands. It's estimated that her endorsements cost from $300,000 up to $650,000. But that's for now, as her final decision can quickly change her net worth. The 7th year of BLACKPINK is quickly approaching, and the question if the girls are going to re-sign their contracts is hanging in the air. Allegedly, an overseas company is offering Lisa $80 million to sign with them instead of YG Entertainment, and YG would hardly go to such lengths to secure Lisa, mainly because they don't have such finances just for her laying around. If Lisa decides to take the offer, she would easily become the richest member of BLACKPINK. There are other ways the girls get paid for promoting the brands that they're ambassadors for besides the classic one-time payment. Rosé became the global ambassador for Tiffany & Co. in 2021 and has done countless photo shoots for the brand. The brand representative said that they chose Rosé for her bold personality and modern style influence as someone who embodies the attitude and identity of the collection. Rosé shared that she has always loved wearing Tiffany jewelry and loved the brand, which is why she found it even more meaningful to be a part of it. She also appeared at many special events organized by the brand, like attending the Tiffany & Co. party organized in Tokyo, Japan, and she got a special gift for her attendance, a $66,000 necklace with a specialized note. At the party, she wore a statement piece necklace that cost $2 million, which shocked both the fans and netizens. While Jennie has the nickname Human Chanel, Rosé is known as Human Saint Laurent. Her timeless beauty and classy looks were voted to be perfect for the brand. She has shown her love for YSL time and time again, and eventually became the ambassador for them in 2020, which made her historically the first ever ambassador for the brand in its 59 years of existence. A year later, she became the muse for Yves Saint Laurent Beauté. The brand understood Rosé's selling power, as after she became associated with it, their sales skyrocketed and the searches for YSL's products grew by 13%. Even though all the BLACKPINK girls are haute couture lovers, only one of them made it to the most important American fashion event, the Met Gala. Rosé got to walk the iconic red carpet for the brand Yves Saint Laurent while being accompanied by none other than Anthony Vaccarello, the artistic director of the brand. Her look of a little black dress and white bow with eccentric accessories quickly made several headlines and added to Rosé's net worth, which is now estimated to be $18 million. Rosé is also known as a soloist after her debut album R and the single On the Ground. The song, along with the follow-up single Gone, were both hits, and the album sold 448,089 copies in the first week, which was the highest for any Korean female soloist until Lisa broke it with Lalisa a few months later. While the 3 members of BLACKPINK all got to work on their solo music projects, Jisoo chose a different route. She had her little roles in shows The Producers and Arthdal Chronicles, but she secured her first leading role in the show Snowdrop, where she played Wonyoung alongside actor Jong Hae-in. The drama was a hit despite some of the controversies, and Jisoo gained the experience of being a drama leading lady besides being a beloved vocalist in BLACKPINK. Jisoo's beauty has often been mentioned as the one that sets the Korean beauty standards. Her visuals have been recognized by both the media and huge brands. The fashion house Dior named Jisoo their global ambassador in September 2021, and since then, she has worn many stunning and iconic looks from the brand, along with attending events and shows. Vogue Business has reported that BLACKPINK's Jisoo alone represents 64% from Dior's $7 million in earned media value. During Paris Fashion Week, Dior's media value came to $38.1 million, of which $15.7 million from that is only thanks to Jisoo. And Jisoo is truly loved at Dior, as the brand often gives her custom-made outfits, and for her 28th birthday, the Dior beauty branch sold a special shade of lip gloss called Strawberry, inspired by Jisoo's natural lip color. Even the chairman and CEO of Dior, Pietro Beccari, gushes about Jisoo. The meeting between Jisoo and Dior was a perfect marriage. Jisoo is amazing. She is a big star, but she is also very humble and at the same time shows intelligence in multiple facets. However, another brand noticed the selling power of Jisoo and decided to fight for her. The jewelry brand Cartier wanted the star to be the face of their Panther de Cartier campaign. The Cartier house actually doubled Dior's offer just to secure Jisoo as their global brand ambassador, especially for their Panther campaign. Jisoo officially earned the title of Cartier ambassador in May 2022 and continued to stun through Cartier photo shoots and events. And Jisoo's influence on social media is truly one of a kind, as it's been reported that she is the top performing influencer and has earned over $198 million in media value for the brands that she's working with. Her acting career combined with prestigious endorsements is rounding up her net worth being $20 million, making
making her the richest member of BLACKPINK. But newer groups are catching up fast. So how do the aespa members compare?
Being a group from SM, especially one with so many brand endorsements and promotions, means that the members are some level of rich and expensive that we can't even comprehend. So how rich are the aespa girls? Giselle. Giselle takes the crown for the most interesting family background in aespa, which definitely helped her current net worth. According to Daily Safety News, a Korean media outlet, Giselle was born in Garosu-gil in Korea, which is located in Gangnam, a very wealthy district in Seoul. Before she debuted with aespa, Giselle was a student at the International School of the Sacred Heart in Tokyo. To attend this school, Giselle paid $30,000 in admission fees, which is a hefty amount to say the least. Since Giselle was also Korean-Japanese staying in a foreign country, the expensive school she went to made her study English, Korean, and Japanese. If you want an idea of just how rich Giselle is, in the past, she shared 2 pictures on Bubble of the 2 rings she claimed she bought for herself. The fans went to research the rings a bit more and discovered that Giselle was a different type of wealthy. 3 of the rings she was wearing in the picture were worth $10,000, $1,600, and $3,000 respectively, which means that she paid nearly $15,000 for 3 rings. The fans were not able to find the cost of the other 2 rings, but I bet that they're just as costly. Giselle had also mentioned that she had been collecting accessories from the brand Chrome Hearts for a while. Those accessories are pretty expensive too, which means that she's used to the wealthy lifestyle. There are also rumors that her family is pretty rich and influential in South Korea and Japan. Some say that the house Giselle lives in Japan is worth a whopping $14 million. None of these claims have ever been confirmed by SM or Giselle herself. Most notably, there have been reports that Giselle's aunt is none other than Cho Joo-hee, who's the director of the Seoul branch of ABC News in the US. But why am I mentioning her aunt of all people? Well, believe it or not, she had dating rumors with Lee Soo-man. Yeah, I didn't expect that either. Back in 2021, Lee Soo-man made headlines for giving his alleged girlfriend a $4 million villa as a gift. The girlfriend was said to be a Korean reporter from the Seoul branch of a North American broadcast company covering news in the United States, Singapore, Hong Kong, and South Korea, which heavily fits the profile of Giselle's aunt. The girlfriend was also said to be a whole 17 years younger than Lee Soo-man, but she was very well known in the journalism field. She was also described as a prominent media reporter and a published author in the United States. But when the rumors came out, people had started thinking that Giselle got into SM because of her family connections and not because she deserved it. The rumors got even bigger once netizens found out that Giselle's training period was a lot shorter compared to the other aespa members, as Giselle only trained for a few months, while Ningning trained for a whole 4 years. The rumors went on to say that the original aespa lineup was a lot different before Giselle became a trainee, and that the other potential members got snubbed in order to make way for Giselle in the group. The lengths people will go to discredit her effort and talents are insane, but Giselle has proven time and time again that she deserves her position in the group. But wealthy or not, Giselle accumulated a net worth of more than $1 million. Winter. Winter is one of the most popular members of the group and was even introduced as a member of Girls on Top along with her seniors. As Winter's popularity and success keeps growing more and more every day, there's no doubt that she's doing great financially. One thing that's for sure is that Winter's current wealth doesn't come from her family. I know her visuals gave chaebol vibes, but her family is quite ordinary. Seeing how anticipated aespa's debut was, and the fact that they were a group under the big 3 indicated that they were going to earn quite a lot of money fast. They were also the first SM girl group after the debut of Red Velvet, so people started standing without even knowing the members of the group. That translated into some heavy income for the members at the very beginnings of their career. Their debut song Black Mamba dominated all charts, whether that be domestic or foreign. Their upcoming album also managed to get more than 100,000 pre-orders in K-Town For You 4 days after the pre-order started, which made them the #1 group with this amount of sales. The album is also currently out of stock on Walmart's website, so the girls will be earning a lot from all these different shops. The numbers they're pulling this early into their careers caused the members to become some of the most popular faces in the K-pop industry. Though from all the album sales, SM takes a percentage and the other percentage is split between the 4 of them. It's estimated that the annual salary of the aespa members is $40,000. On top of their salary, and including all their music releases, appearances on TV, and endorsement deals, Winter has managed to reach a net worth of $1.2 million according to K-Mug. The net worth also came from brand deals with Givenchy, Clio, Eider, and Mediheal, among among others, making her a millionaire at only 20 years old. The most impressive thing is that even with 1.2 million, Winter isn't the richest aespa member. Karina has had a long career in the idol industry compared to her other aespa members. Before debuting, she appeared in the music video for Taemin's Want and even performed alongside him in the promotional stages. She also performed with EXO's Kai in a virtual showcase held by Hyundai Motors and SM Entertainment. Then she debuted with aespa and is one of the most popular members, if not the most popular. Her visuals really left everyone gaping and made her rise in popularity against her peers, but since aespa hasn't started doing individual endorsements and promotions yet, the only earnings she has from the activity she does is with the group. They're very costly too. For example, it was revealed that the group got paid $40,447 to make an appearance at some of the college festivals they performed at. This came as a surprise to most because their seniors in the industry were paid a lot less for the same appearances, even though aespa are still considered rookies. Red Velvet and Akmu were paid nearly $32,000. Rappers B.O. and Just This were paid $24,000, and Psy is the cheapest of them to book at $12,000. I did tell you that aespa are expensive, didn't I? They also were the first SM group to perform at Coachella, and while we don't have a correct estimate of how much they earned from their appearance, seeing the numbers the other performers pulled, it's probably a lot. Even if the company ends up taking a percentage, the girls must have still earned a lot from it. Karina is also involved in the Girls on Top project along with Winter. Not to mention all the endorsements with Cleo, Metaheel, KB, Kookmin Bank, Eider, Aqua de Parma, and most importantly Givenchy, which made aespa the one and only K-pop group to represent them. All of this caused Karina to have a net worth of around $1 million as of June 2022. While this may not look like a big number to some, especially compared to bigger groups under the same company, we must keep in mind that the group has only been an active group since October of 2020. They've already made bank these 2 years, and it's seriously impressive so far. Ningning may be the most hated aespa member by Korean netizens because she comes from China, but I don't think that she's that bothered by it since she's also the richest aespa member. She doesn't come from a wealthy background either as far as we know, but her family is probably upper middle class. While aespa generally mostly do activities as a group, Ningning still had more individual gigs than the rest of the aespa members. Actually, before making her debut with aespa, Ningning was already pretty well known among SM stans as an SM rookie, gaining her a following before she became an idol. She got quite the experience as an idol when she appeared on SMT Rookie's Princess Who's the Best, and even recorded a few covers for a Korean animated series called Shining Star in 2017. There were also rumors that she went to talent shows in China and had a few singing gigs back in her home country. She was making bank before being an idol. Love that for her. Her net worth is estimated to be nearly $1.5 million, making her the richest member of the group. Overall, all the members were extremely lucky to have been trainees under SM Entertainment. In other companies, the earnings from the group's debut go towards paying all the debts the company took in order to debut the group. As for SM and other big three companies, not only do they share their earnings with their groups, even if it is in small percentages, but it's also a lot easier for the idols under these companies to get CFs and brand endorsements from luxury brands. They also get money from selling merch and, of course, tours and concerts. Since the members are popular with the public and get huge fan followings before they've even made a name for themselves in the industry, these idols get gifted expensive gifts and luxury items and sometimes even given money as gifts. Plus, we know just how excessive Chinese fans are with their gifts. Even though SM stopped them altogether, I'm betting that her China bar contributed a lot to Ningning. And speaking of newer groups, NewJeans took the world by storm along with some seriously impressive earnings. In under a year since their debut, NewJeans achieved remarkable success in the music industry. Their immense popularity resulted in impressive partnerships with top luxury brands and their appearances in advertisements and billboards. Even though they have just started their career, NewJeans have already started getting their paychecks. In December, Adore CEO Min Hee-jin announced that the NewJeans members got their first payment 2 months after the group made their debut. Aside from that, it's important to highlight that NewJeans represents multiple brands, both in South Korea and internationally. One notable brand they collaborate with is Musinsa, a prominent fashion house in South Korea. The members frequently showcase their impeccable style while also endorsing the brand. But Musinsa wasn't the only brand who was eager to work with NewJeans. In fact, NewJeans has become a highly sought-after band with various opportunities for partnerships because, let's be honest, they're one of the most popular groups in the industry right now. They were appointed as brand ambassadors for Shinhan Bank and were featured in SK Telecom's commercial for the iPhone 14, further solidifying their influence. They have also
also become the face of Megastudy, a highly regarded college preparation services company in South Korea. However, their accomplishments don't end there. The group were also named honorary ambassadors of Seoul, joining the likes of Lee Seok-kun, comedian Kim Young-myeon, and actor Noh Joo-hyun. As a final addition to their brand partnerships, NewJeans has collaborated with McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Levi's. It's worth noting that these partnerships, along with the band's musical ventures, have significantly contributed to their growing net worth. They also have impressive sales and numbers for a rookie group. NewJeans' debut album has achieved a remarkable feat by becoming the first Korean group in 26 years to sell over 1 million copies since Shinsegae School Byulgok in 1997. Notably, they're the only girl group to have their debut album reach 1 million sales. They also reached 1 million sales with their comeback mini album OMG and are set to have a summer comeback with a pre-release track coming out on July 7th. Knowing how much the public likes them, we know that they're going to do amazing. It isn't known how Adore distributes profit, but if we base it on Big Hit's income distribution, then the girls get 50% of physical sales, 70% of renewed physical sales, and 70% of overseas schedules. They've also broken records when it comes to streaming, with them surpassing 1 billion cumulative streams, which means that they earned more than $4 million from their streams alone. Besides their group endeavors, each member of NewJeans has landed lucrative contracts with high-end brands. Let's explore their individual earnings and net worths. Danielle was actually active in the entertainment industry well before NewJeans. When she was a child, she gained attention as a popular model in Korea, appearing in numerous TV shows and advertisements. In 2011 and 2012, she made appearances in the TVN's Rainbow Kindergarten and Shinhwa broadcast, but her career had to end after she went back to Australia. After joining NewJeans and experiencing their immense success in album sales and chart rankings, Danielle was recently appointed as a global ambassador of luxury brand Burberry. Additionally, Danielle has made contributions as a lyricist and composer for NewJeans' debut single Attention, which also gained her some money. On May 2nd, 2023, Danielle was revealed as the voice actress of Ariel in the Korean dub of the live-action version of the classic Disney film The Little Mermaid. On May 17th, Disney Korea released an official video showcasing her performance of Part of Your World, along with scenes from the film, and has been promoting her heavily alongside the movie. According to K-pop stars, sources estimate Danielle's net worth to be $500,000 as of January 2023. However, this might change as we can only expect greater things from her in the future. Just like her fellow members, Haydeen is also a brand ambassador for a major fashion brand. In May of this year, Haydeen was selected as the new Dior ambassador for jewelry, fashion, and beauty. The majority of her income stems from NewJeans schedules and releases, but it has been rumored that Haydeen comes from a wealthy family and that she grew up living comfortably as her father is apparently a businessman. All of this has contributed to making her net worth approximately $1 million according to Wikibio stars. Since Haydeen is not as active individually as the other members, we're sure that she's going to be booked and busy very soon, with her net worth only going up from here. Hani is currently also doing amazing in her career outside of group schedules. She was chosen as the official global ambassador for Armani Beauty and Gucci in 2022, with her attending her first Fashion Week event as a brand ambassador at Milan Fashion Week in 2023. Her earnings primarily stem from her professional career, which includes songwriting and other group activities that generate income, but seeing as NewJeans are going to have more releases and activities in the future, we can expect her net worth to grow significantly. Sources suggest that Hani has an estimated net worth of $1.5 million. This is only the start of their career, so it's foolish to think that Hani won't be booking schedule after schedule in the near future. Hae is the youngest member of NewJeans, but that doesn't mean that she should be overlooked. Her stage presence, as well as her skills, have gotten the attention of the general public and the audience. Well, she had a bit of practice in that regard. She debuted in November of 2017 with Usu Girl, which was a kids girl group under Kids Planet. Promoting under the stage name Ujong, she left the group a year later, and in 2019 was revealed as a member of the kids co-ed group Play With Me Club. The group made their debut in 2020, and she ended up graduating from the group with fellow member Tanghyun in 2021. She doesn't stop there though, as she was very active in the industry as a kid. From October 19th to December 21st, 2021, Hae was a member of Six Dance, a co-ed dance group on EBS's children's show Live Talk Talk Boni Hani. It's no wonder that Hae shines on stage with so much confidence. Hae managed to shine as an actress too after appearing in the web drama The Girl's Double Life. Hae's fame only skyrocketed after she became a part of NewJeans. After a very successful debut and comeback, Hae also showed everyone that she has a lot of potential as an individual artist too. In December 2022, she was selected as a brand ambassador by Louis Vuitton, which significantly boosted her status. At just 14 years old, Hae holds the distinction of being the youngest ambassador for the brand. According to K-pop Cradle, Hae's net worth is estimated to be around $1.5 million. Considering that she's only 14 and that this is only the beginning of her her, this is pretty impressive. We can't wait to see what she has to offer us in the future. Minji is one of the NewJeans members that got attention for her outstanding visuals and skills ever since the group debuted, and it turns out she's allegedly filthy rich too. Yes, before she even became an idol. According to various media outlets, Minji apparently had a wealthy upbringing, with her father being a businessman, and while there are only a few public details about Minji and her family, her personality suggests that she grew up in a wealthy environment. Her Namu Wiki profile reads that Minji was homeschooled in elementary and also studied in Canada, which would explain why she's so good at speaking English. She also had pre-debut activities, as she appeared in the music video for BTS's hit song Permission to Dance, along with fellow member Honey. In their photo book, the members also hinted towards Minji's alleged wealthy background, as they showed how she can easily buy whatever she wants. For instance, when asked how they would hide a cake, they said Minji would probably have it delivered or even buy a new fridge, which is something that a very rich person would totally do. Likewise, if they were locked out of the dorm, her teammates said that Minji would quickly book a fancy hotel for a comfortable night's sleep. But with her family's wealth and her current earnings as a member of one of the biggest groups in the world, what's Minji's net worth? Minji and the other members get their income in other ways that are not related to group activities. Despite her young age, Minji was chosen by Chanel as their brand ambassador. She will represent the luxury brand in 3 areas: fashion, watches, and beauty. Minji also had a hand in writing the lyrics for the group's hit song Ditto, and she's making money from it too. On top of her music career, her brand partnerships have allegedly brought her a net worth of $1.5 million according to K-pop stars. Good for her. Even with their impressive net worths at such young ages, some fans have expressed concerns about another aspect. It has been revealed that HYBE, particularly Adore, invested approximately 16 billion Korean won in the group. This has sparked curiosity among K-pop fans regarding whether the group is responsible for covering all the expenses, including their training costs, which suggests that they may have earned even more. As we all know, the various expenses that companies make to bring a group to light, such as vocal, dance, and language lessons, accommodation, and other necessary resources, are typically covered by the agency, with the expectation that the trainees will repay the investments through their future earnings once they debut as idols. However, rumors have circulated that Adore does not require trainees to make upfront payments. Instead, it's speculated that the members are gradually repaying their debts through salary deductions while still receiving a reasonable income. So NewJeans are making bank and also paying the company's debt at the same time. Still, no one can talk about wealth in K-pop without mentioning BTS, so let's break down who really holds the crown. After debuting in 2013, it took BTS a few years to get to the top. Now they're the most popular group in the world, and they're insanely rich too. It's said that the members have about $120 million as a combined net worth, as according to Forbes, it doubled from their net worth of $50 million in 2020. They all have shares in HYBE, but also sell record amounts of albums, both physically and digitally, world tours and concerts, deals with the most luxurious brands like Samsung, Hyundai, and Louis Vuitton, merch sales, streams, and commercials. In 2019 only, the group made $170 million from their Love Yourself World Tour. BTS also brings in $3.9 billion to the country's economy. Several sources have said that they're the most valuable boy band in the world at the moment. This just made fans wonder just how rich the BTS members are and who takes the place of the richest one. Jin is the 7th richest member in BTS, with his net worth officially being reported as around $20 million. A tiny portion of his wealth might come from his family, as he comes from a very wealthy background. The rest comes through his earnings as a member of BTS. This includes their profits from releases, promotions, and endorsements. He also gains income from the group's broadcast appearances, as the members in general are very in demand and have high brand power. Jin also owns shares in HYBE, which reached the value of $16 million and earns an additional annual salary of $8 million. As for music-related profits, Jin earns quite a lot of royalties from earning from the Korean Music Copyright Association, where he is credited as a writer on several BTS songs and also his own. His solo music also plays a big part in his net worth, as his solos have been pretty successful. Other ways that he earns is through social media and entrepreneurship. With Jin accounting 42.7 million followers on his Instagram account, he probably earns a minimum of around $53,000 per sponsored post, an amount which can go as high as $638,000 since he is very in demand and has a large following. He also opened a Japanese restaurant in Korea in 2018 and is the owner of several apartment buildings in Seoul. Jin was also
spotted driving a Porsche Panamera GTS a few years back, which is priced at a hefty $179,800. He's also been seen driving a sleek Lamborghini Aventador S, which costs upwards of $550,000. Taehyung takes the place of the 6th richest member in BTS, as his net worth has officially been reported as $26 million as of 2022. Just like Jin, most of his earnings come from his activities with BTS and the sales from albums, concerts, tours, and merchandise. Taehyung also owns shares in HYBE and has his own credits in songs like Blue and Gray, Boys with Fun, Hold Me Tight, Run, and on his solo songs Stigma, Winter Bear, Sweet Night, Inner Child, and much more. Unlike the other members in the vocal line, Taehyung has the most solo work, including solos, original soundtracks, acting gigs, and variety show appearances. Taehyung has also had a couple of original soundtracks under his belt, as he lent his voice to hit dramas like Hwarang, The Poet Warrior Youth, Itaewon Class, and Our Beloved Summer. Every single soundtrack release of Taehyung's has reached domestic and international success. He also had a few solo gigs involving acting and variety shows. He had a supporting role in the drama Hwarang, The Poet Warrior Youth, and had solo appearances in variety shows like Celebrity Bromance. He also had a solo photo shoot with Vogue in September 2022, and the edition he was in reached the highest sales index in history, surpassing 1 million on its first pre-order day. As for his social media, Taehyung earns a lot from his Instagram account alone. His earnings per sponsored post begin at $64,000, and this number can go as high as $773,000 since he has a following of 54.1 million. This makes him the idol with the highest Instagram earnings among BTS members and other Korean artists alike. Taehyung is also the owner of a luxurious apartment in Hanam Hill, Gangnam, which is worth $4.5 million. It's reported that he paid everything in cash. As for the car he drives, Taehyung made the choice of purchasing a Hyundai Genesis GV80, a luxury SUV whose price starts at around $57,500. At least we know he can fit all of the BTS members in his car. Jungkook is the 5th richest BTS member. According to Seoul Space, Jungkook has a declared net worth of $26 million. Like his bandmates, he gets a fair share of his earnings from sales and brand endorsements, but he also has a few solo gigs that have solidified his status as one of the richest idols in the industry. Jungkook has a few solo songs and collaborations with Western artists like Charlie Puth on the single Left and Right, and has royalties from the BTS music as a songwriter and artist. Jungkook is involved in co-producing and co-writing many BTS songs. He also earned from his solo appearances on shows like King of Masked Singer, Flower Crew, and Celebrity Bromance. Jungkook also has solo songs which have earned him a lot, and he also got the honor to sing the song for the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, and he also performed at the opening ceremony for the tournament. This also raised the number of followers on his Instagram account, which is also a way that he profits. His earnings per sponsored post start at around $60,000, which can go up as high as $725,000. Jungkook is a resident of the luxurious Seoul Forest Triage complex, as he purchased an apartment worth $1.7 million all in cash. His luxurious lifestyle doesn't stop at his apartment, as he's the owner of a Mercedes-Benz GT6 3S, which costs around $178,000. The car was then put on auction and sold for $900,000, which marks the highest price in the history of the auction site. Jimin is one of the most popular BTS members, so it's no surprise that he takes the 4th spot on the list, with his net worth officially being reported to reach $26 million. In addition to his earnings as a BTS member, Jimin also earns royalties from the songs that he's credited in as a co-producer and co-writer, including BTS songs and his own solo songs. Jimin also took part in the official soundtrack of the TVN drama Our Blues, and it was pretty successful on both domestic and international charts. He is also the owner of several apartments in Seoul, with one of them being the 9-1 Hanam, which often gets called the Beverly Hills of Korea. On top of his extremely expensive outfits, Jimin also drives a Porsche Panamera GTS, which starts at around $130,000. Now that BTS have gone on hiatus to focus on their solo projects, it's expected that Jimin's solo gigs and releases will cause his net worth to get bigger and bigger. Namjoon has reached the number 3 spot on this list from his solo work and writing credits alone. According to several sources, his officially reported net worth goes as high as $31 million. Aside from his earnings with BTS, he also earns from his royalties as a writer, composer, and producer. He hasn't only worked on BTS's songs because, according to the Korean Music Copyright Association,
he has more than 200 songs credited under his name, making him the youngest and second most credited musician under the association. This includes the songs that he has made for his group, his solo songs, and other artists like TXT, Steve Aoki, and Glam. Namjoon has also released plenty of solo songs like his mixtapes RM and Mono, and most recently his album Indigo. He has plenty of noteworthy collaborations under his belt too, like Whale, Erykah Badu, Anderson .Paak, and much more. He's also featured on other artist tracks including Fall Out Boy, Lil Nas X, Han, Gecko, and more. Even though Namjoon has appeared on different shows with his fellow BTS members, he has made some solo appearances of his own. Some of the shows he appeared in alone include Running Man and Problematic Man, and he is also the host of music shows like M Countdown and Inkigayo, and even KCON New York. Just like Jimin, Namjoon purchased a house in the 9-1 Hanam complex for $5.63 million in March of 2021. Namjoon is also an avid art collector. On a video released in December of 2022 where Namjoon was showing off his house, fans could count more than 100 art pieces around his house, including paintings and sculptures. One of them is a $1.2 million art piece by Ronnie Horn, with Namjoon confirming the release of yet another album and the fact that he's going to become a cast member on the Dictionary of Useless Knowledge. It's likely that his net worth will increase. With his earnings officially being reported as $33 million, Yoongi takes the place as the second richest member in BTS. Yoongi has a fair share of earnings from BTS's sales, brand endorsements, and commercials, but he also profits a good amount from his royalties. Yoongi has an impressive list of songs where he's credited writer, composer, and producer under the Korean Music Copyright Association. This doesn't involve only BTS songs or his own solo work, but the releases of other musicians as well. Yoongi has also released his own mixtapes called August D and D2, and has a list of hit songs like They Tweeta, Tony Montana, So Far Away, August D, Give It To Me, and much more. His latest release, D2, landed on top of several music charts like Billboard's World Albums, Independent Albums, Top Rap Albums, and Billboard 200 charts. Yoongi has been involved in producing for other artists like Psy, IU, Haze, Epic High, and even for Samsung and Hybe. He is also the owner of a luxurious house located in Yuan Village in South Korea. The cost of this house is said to be around $3 million at the time of purchase. Yoongi is set to release another mixtaper album in the near future, so he might be moving up on this list. And at the top of the list is none other than Hoseok. His net worth over the years has reportedly accumulated to $34 million, making him the richest BTS member. He has a base salary of $8 million per year, and like every BTS members, he earns a lot from album sales, concerts, tour, merch, and much more. He has worked on multiple BTS tracks as a songwriter and producer ever since the group's debut, and launched his solo career in 2018 with the release Hope World, which made him top the charts in Korea and internationally. Hoseok also collaborated with Becky G in the 2019 single Chicken Noodle Soup. His solo work topped several Billboard charts like the World Albums and World Digital Song Sales charts at the time of its release. Hoseok earns a huge amount from his Instagram. Counting 42.3 million followers as of December 2022, he earns a minimum of $38,000 per sponsored post. This can go as high as $462,000. He also released his album Jack in the Box in July of 2022. Jack in the Box made it onto NME's 50 Best Albums of 2022 list, landing at number 42. The album was also ranked at number 9 on Rolling Stone's annual 100 Best Albums of 2022 list. Putting his money to good use, Hoseok purchased an apartment located in Seongsu-dong, Seoul, which is worth $1.1 million. Currently, its value has increased and is now worth $2 million. It also seems like he has a very expensive taste. In an ad that BTS did for Hyundai Palisade, Hoseok was wearing a $64,000 watch, which cost more than the car that he was advertising. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on K-pop news and stories, and make sure to comment your thoughts on the group below.